Okay. How are we all doing? Happy Monday. Happy fucking Monday. Let's get going. I didn't post any live trades from last week, but I'll be posting it again this week. I just had a little bit too much to do, but let's get straight into this. So, Monday morning. Let me just make sure everything's working correctly. Yeah, cool. Monday morning. So here's what I'm seeing going into the day. Today, interestingly, we are in this uptrend, but we're pretty much stalling here. And I wonder whether we're going to get a move to the downside now. So if that is to be the case, I'm interested in two areas, really. I'm interested in, or let's say three areas. I'm interested in London session lows here. I'm not interested in Asia session lows. And the reason why is because I just want to see a bit more confirmation if price was to get down to Asia session lows, because there's quite a big gap between that and New York session lows. So I'd like to see a bit more confirmation, whereas I'd happily be more aggressive at London session lows and enter fast. I'm not interested in London session highs because it's just a bit too close to the zone. And I'm also not interested in, even though it's two double New York session highs, I would want to see a bit more confirmation. I have a feeling that price will probably chop around before we get a move, and that just means I could get chopped up. So, London session lows, or where I would be interested in, I just don't think we'll get here. If we was to get all the way down to here, this New York and previous day Asia session lows would be perfect for a long play. But looking at it close, this area is obviously the nice one. And then of course, I'd be looking for price to react from this zone, and I'd be looking for a short. Let me just go down to the 5 minute or the 1 minute. In fact, let me go to the 5 minute. So I'll be looking at this zone, something like this midpoint, for a move down, or I'd be looking higher up into the zone, anywhere in and around here. That'd be quite nice. So let's see what happens. Should be pretty interesting. I wonder what type of day we're going to get. Edge 6. And obviously, news-wise, we haven't really got any news today. I don't think. Yeah, no, we don't have anything today. So, nothing really to report there. But obviously, we do have unemployment rate this week on Thursday, I believe, because it's bank holiday on Friday in the US, or 4th of July, whatever they do. So, we could be expecting it to be a pretty turmoil week, I'm not going to lie, because obviously you got the new Fed speaking on Wednesday. Can't remember why he's speaking, but he is speaking. So I expect some volatility there. Then obviously we've got unemployment rate or the jobs market report on Thursday, and then bank holiday on Friday. So everything's pretty much crammed into one. So I do expect volatility this week, which is good. I expect that, and that's good for the markets. That's good for the edge. That's good for the strategy, and hopefully we can get some opportunities. So let's see. Well, we got 2 minutes until market open, or nearly 1 minute. All right, we've got 1 minute to go. Nice. All right, I'm interested in the zone. The zone looks good, but I would like to see price come up to the edge of the zone. But either way, it's good. It looks nice. Here we go. Market open. Let me just check something. Cool. Whoa, this is flying down. Bro, look at it. That's a huge candle. This is looking interesting, you know. All right, it looks like we're coming back to this zone, and we are. Huge wick to the downside first. All right, we've just touched the midpoint. Nice. I'm interested. I wouldn't mind looking for some shorts from here. If we get the edge of the zone though, then yeah, you know, that looks good. All right, we've just tapped the edge of the zone, which is nice. Oh, crap. Hang on. Why is it just on that? Yeah, cool. Alright, edge of the zone's been tapped. If we go and touch this high, then I'm probably not too interested, I'm going to be honest. There we go. We've just completely disrespected the zone. So I'm not interested in looking for a short from up here, to be honest. It's a bit too close. And the reason why is because I actually had my stop loss. If I was going to look for something, I had my stop loss around about here. But it's just ran through, like. Look at that 5 minute as well. Huge wick down, big move up. I mean, look, it could still close, but it's just not good enough here now. That's a huge move. Okay, so the zone is completely no-go. Like, just completely a no-go. And this is why it's so important. When you get to these zones, it's just so crucial that we wait. Like, yes, you can enter when you see strength. If you don't see strength, you must wait. Right? Just because you're starting to see a wick, that doesn't mean anything. You need to see conviction that sellers are coming into the market. It's the most important part. So now my question is, are we going to continue up here, or are we going to get a move all the way down to here? Watch this just completely move back down. Closer to the mark in terms of the historically high levels of long-term interest rates that you see on U.S. Treasury debt and other global sovereign bonds. I do think are reflecting some expectation of more geopolitical. I'm just waiting at the moment. But at the same time, I think equities, in large part because of our first conversation on AI optimism, are starting to look through some of the inflationary risks at their peril. I just wonder, again, going back to sort of Sintra, because we're used to more than 15 years of deciding how we should react to macroeconomics based on what the Fed is telling us. We really use them as a guide. That's disappearing. Is there a risk that the market still tries to do that it over-interpolates something that Kevin Warsh says, or it takes a piece of data and runs with it because it assumes something that is no longer an assumption? Just like kind of how new of a world are we living in and trying to get Yeah, it's a great question because it goes right to the point I started with about demand and supply. The Fed, I love watching the Fed as much as anyone. I grew up with Fed. Still am. They're a lot of fun. But they are not the be-all and end-all of everything. Their mission is demand management, price stability, and full employment. And that's wild. The big themes we've been talking about today are mostly about changing supply shocks, but the Fed doesn't really have to engage with. I think Chairman Bush knows that. I think he's made that clear in his a lot of his public remarks coming into the job. So we should expect monetary policy to explain less of the variance in market outcomes than we're used to the past couple decades. Eric, just lastly, just to end it on the AI, because we've been talking about how dominant of a force it is in equity markets. I wonder, as these hyperscalers turn more to bond markets, is that an issue when you're putting together? I'm actually interested in. Corporate bond markets are starting to look more tech. I think I'm interested in some longs, but I might do it on the eval, Yeah, I'm in on an eval. It's not good enough for me to go on a funded account, but it's Monday, so I'm going to give it a crack on an eval account. And I'll have my stop at 7457. So let's see. I'm interested. Does that mean when these stocks IPO, OpenAI, Anthropic, and already very lofty multiples that they're maybe not as attractive right now to actually own? Let's see. Oh. And to be very clear, I share the confidence that these are going to be All right, Ren, just to clarify, this is only on an eval. This is not on any of my funded accounts. I'm just going to clarify this again. This is only on my eval. Why didn't I take this on my funded account? Because it's not a good enough setup for me to be able to take on my live accounts. So I'm taking it on an eval to see whether I can get my eval passed. So that's what I'm doing. And sometimes I will do that. It's looking alright at the moment. Alright, what are we up? Nearly 1,000. Let's see if we can get back to that high. If we can, I'll close this trade. Normally, when I do something like this, I'm pretty greedy and I try and go for it all at once, but I'm not going to try and go for it all at once. I will try and go for maybe like 2k, something like that. And then it'll be pretty easy for me to pass the remainder of the account. What are we at? 1,600, 1,500, 1,400. Alright, we closed above the level, so I do expect us to move towards those highs now, to be honest. But we'll see. Right, hang on, let me just put my self limit. Alright, looks like we're about to hit it. Or we're close at least. Are we at 1,600, 1,500? This is a beautiful trade. So far, anyway. But I mean, it is like, it's EVAL Monday. Right, 1,800, 1,900. Let's see if we can get to maybe like 2k. Let's try him, but $1,900, 2k. There we go. Okay, so why did I take this trade, and why didn't I take it on a funded account, and why did I take it on an eval account? This is important. Okay, so the reason why I didn't take it on the funded account is because it completely disrespected the zone, and then immediately disrespected this level just above. So that makes the probabilities lower anyway, right? So after that point, when I saw price come back to this, I was looking for a continuation to go higher. But even so, the probabilities, because it all happened so fast, like look how messy it is here. Do you see that? See how the 5 minute is closed above the next 5 minute candle? Like we're not actually getting clear cut breaks above or below the zone. Like we had it here, but we didn't get it here. So because of that, that normally makes things lower probability. So I wasn't too interested in taking anything on the funded account. So I said, you know what, it's Monday. Why don't I just try and get closer or try and pass an eval account? So I made what, just over 2K, $2,278. So I've got $800 to go now. I probably could have even held this to pass it today. I only needed like $800 to do it, but it's fine. But yeah, we'll wait till tomorrow and then we'll come back on a funded account and see if we can grab anything there. And if not, then, if not. This is like one of the things that you need to learn with trading. You need to understand what conditions you're in. And if things don't look good, that doesn't mean that you have to take the trade on the funded accounts. If the probabilities aren't there, you can then go onto an eval, get an eval account, and just see if you can pass it based upon one trade. Like, I don't normally do this, but it is Monday, so fuck it, right? It's Monday, and Monday's Monday. But other than that, I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll go again.